You're completely
No way we
useless,
go.
you piece of shit. That's cool.
Yeah, we straight chillin', serial killing, three cold villains on the mic, got you reeling. 5-star rated from the floor to the ceiling. If you catch a 1-star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ on the ones and twos, by the name Beelzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all over two, and prepare to hear the legend of the straight chillin' crew.
Nerds, and welcome to another Trauma Mama episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror podcast. Let me do that one over again real quick. The weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, chop up yet another horror movie. My name is Bob, and I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode 532, recorded on Monday, June 16th, 2025. Tonight we're talking about The Monster from 2016. This one was chosen by your boy Mike. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show tonight. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got your boy Rand Diesel. What's up, man?
What's up?
This is one for the kids. They love it.
This
They
is one-
cheer for it.
The children love Randeezy. It's just a fact.
Yes. Yes, you're the new Bluey, right?
I am the new Bluey.
You're like the baby
I don't want to be
shark.
the new Bluey. No, there's too many. Man,
Mm.
something unsavory about the Bluey business. I don't know what it is.
All right. Well, moving on. Calling in from Seoul, South Korea, we got your boy Soju. What's up?
Oh, what up? It's your mother boy, Soju.
Mm.
All right.
We love a mother boy.
Mother boy.
Sure. Ready? What about Ready Randy? That makes sense.
What?
What?
My dog.
What are
My
we
dog. Instead of Bluey, you're ready.
Ready, Randy.
Man,
What's he
you
ready
could
to
not-
do,
you
Bob?
could
He's hanging
not.
out with kids. I don't know.
Like the
Bob.
color. The color red. Red
That was
is
just
Randy,
the most
oh my
confusing
God,
shit
dude,
I've
I
ever
don't
heard
know
in
what
my
the fuck
life. What in the fuck are you
The
talking
color. I
about?
was like, what the
the color red.
God,
No,
Uh,
ready's another word, Bob, that most people say.
The colors, Duke. The colors.
No. You got to follow me. It all makes sense.
What
We're gonna
the-
we're
You
gonna
gotta
make
follow
millions.
me.
The
We're gonna make
color.
millions.
The
The
colors.
kids are gonna
Right,
love
like-
it.
the colors.
You could not have chosen a more confusing thing to say.
I was confused.
Oh, yellowy Randy doesn't sound good. You got to get the
It
alliteration.
does not sound
You call
good.
me yellow, motherfucker? I will cut a motherfucker.
Greeny Randeezy, I guess that could work. I don't know. We got to workshop it, but we're onto something.
It's gotta be
Uh,
a color, though. That
clearly.
much we know.
Clearly onto something here. Big thanks to your boy Mike for picking this week's flick, The Monster. But before we get into it, let's tackle a little bit of housekeeping on our end real quick. We do have our July poll currently posted on our Patreon website. If you guys support us at the $5 level or above, you get the chance to vote on a movie we're talking about this July. The theme for July is 1985. This is my takeover poll. I got 3 movies that are really, I don't think I've really mentioned this before. They're essentially all zombie movies from the year 1985. And they are Reanimator, Day of the Dead, and Return of the Living Dead.
Whoa, Bob. Happy birthday.
Oh, thanks.
Also, how are those numbers looking?
Well, slight shift from last week. We still have a tie for second place between Reanimator and Day of the Dead, both sitting at 29%. So they've fallen slightly. Return of the Living Dead still on top, with a slight bump moving up to 43%.
Whoa.
Yeah, man.
All right. And we are halfway through the year. So yeah, that's what the numbers are looking.
What?
That's what they're looking like. The year, the
That's-
month.
Jesus
Whatever,
Christ. Is there a
the
gas leak
decade.
in all 3 of our homes right now?
Across the
Ready,
world,
Randy,
there's a
you gotta
gas
save
leak.
Across the-
Boys, do you consider clear a color? Was that a color for you?
No.
No,
Oh.
bro. No, no.
All right.
What?
Okay,
Just,
for real though, so are we on Quaaludes? What is happening?
just curious, just a
Hey, dog.
curiosity.
My favorite color is clear.
My favorite color is when this car starts flying, dog.
We all ate hot brownies before recording. Get those votes in before the end of the month. We'll see what we're talking about this July. In other Patreon news, we're dropping mini casts every other Friday. We just dropped one on the Ugly Stepsister. Next up, this Friday, the 20th, you got a brand new mini cast dropping on Patreon for Dangerous Animals, which is currently in theaters, and I recommend you watch it with your eyeballs.
Whoa.
I was gonna watch it with my butthole, but I'm glad you set me straight.
The brown eye.
The only eye that matters.
They say
only
to
eye-
watch the world through your third eye, and buddy, I'm doing it.
Prying open my third eye.
Whoa, that's
Every
that's
morning,
like a new
Randy's-
meaning.
He's screaming it from the toilet.
Oh yes.
Well, I'm gonna go smear some mud on my ass.
Maynard James Keenan is your shit inspo. That's
Oh yeah.
Oh man, he's a shit person. Anyway,
check out the Dangerous Animals minicast in theaters. Minicast not in theaters. The movie's in theaters. The minicast is on Patreon. Check it all out.
Minicast is in theaters, just as
It's
Tom
just
Cruise
a-
always wanted it to be.
It's just a thumbnail. It's
Tom
just
Cruise
the
is just sitting there chomping
audio.
popcorn, listening to us while watching our fucking thumbnail.
For $10, you can listen to my 30-minute review of a movie in theaters instead of watching
That's
the movie.
cinema.
Our
bitch.
automatically uploaded thumbnail that's not the right it's the
Nope,
right
never the
dimension.
right
It's
one.
stretched as hell, and it's
Yep.
you'll
We're
love
gonna
it.
go ahead and make the. We're gonna go ahead and make this 16:9. Why not?
You'll love it. Check it out. Last bit of Patreon news here. We are reopening the You Pick the Flick tier for the final time this year.
What,
God
Bob? It's
damn.
only June. Are you crazy?
I am insane.
Lock
So
him
we're
up.
doing it
Well, that
One
settles
more
that.
one more time for the year. So this is the only way you can outright pick a movie for us to review on the show. We typically open this up once a quarter with 5 spots per quarter. We're going to be reopening this on Tuesday, July 1st with 6 spots. And those are the last 6
What?
spots for the whole year.
Bob, you can't count
damn.
either. That's supposed to be 10.
I can't. I'm an idiot.
What? Dang it.
Wow.
Take that to the bank.
Well, you said it.
6. That's it. So mark your calendars. Tuesday, July 1st. You pick the flick tier.
All
One more
right.
time for 2025. And last bit of news I have, and then
What
I'll
a
shut the
year
fuck
it's
up.
been.
We got another new episode of Let's Get Physical Media. Everywhere you guys get your podcasts, your boy Mikey and myself are talking about our May pickups. So if you're interested in collecting Blu-rays or 4Ks or VHS tapes, check us out. Let's Get Physical Media everywhere.
I gotta say, Bob, I'm looking forward to next month's episode because I assume a dude got some gift cards for the B-Day. You know,
Oh,
I
B-Day.
assume. You know,
Splurge, perhaps.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little worried about the structural integrity of your home.
My shelves are just
Bob is currently sitting on top of a pile. It's the only
That chair's made of blues.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it is.
That floor's blues. That air is blues.
It's really just blues all the way down.
Bob's breathing in the blues right now.
I do. I huff them. I huff them before bed.
Macroplastics, we call them.
That sweet off gassing. You just gotta. It's really good for your lungs. My doctor says.
Hey.
Up a can of Whiff-Ass.
Stop breathing in my favorite color, bro.
You got any red rays in there, Bob?
Oh, Ready Randy would want to know if I had any red rays.
I gotta know. Ready Randy has a question.
Just loves the color red. That's all I got.
Famously.
Do you guys have anything you need to plug?
No.
I'll replug my plug it up
Replug it.
from last week. Now that it is officially out into the world, yeah, I went on our friend Caitlin's Plug It Up podcast again, and got to talk a little bit about Fear Street Prom Queen, which we had a nice long fun discussion about. I was maybe about 75% as tired as I am now, so
Whoa.
I was still mildly coherent, which is nice. Um, Not unlike here. I'm not going to make any fucking sense tonight. I'm
Well,
really
that's the
excited
kind of
about that.
episodes we like. So
Yeah,
I
those are
know
the
it,
best.
buddy.
yeah,
Mhm.
just gotta push you to your limit, Randy. Ready,
I
Randy.
know.
Randy, Randy's not so ready.
My brown eye is open and ready for business. Let's go.
You can truly see. Okay. Sounds like we're squeaky clean.
I think so.
This house is clean.
All right, let's get into the main event. We're talking about the monster, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
Bob, I can't remember our thumbnail at the beginning of this video. Do you have this box? You do.
I got
There
it.
it is, right there. Did you buy it for this episode?
I did.
Okay.
I did
It's
indeed.
dedication. No,
I'm
really had to
dedicated.
twist your arm, I know.
Not dedication to the show, dedication to the blues. of
His
course.
hobby, of course.
Just that you got to inhale it. Just the
Do you think this is the most expensive hobby you've ever had, Bob? Blue buying? Or do you think drumming was more expensive?
Ooh.
we don't need to get into that. We're talking about the monster. You can buy this on Blu-ray. It's really easy to find.
I'm a
get it-
blues buyer, It's kind of my thing.
Where did Bob go wrong? Were he and his friends sifting way too long through those Blu-ray bins? And it gets worse, he'll have no jet ski, wasting all his dough on those DVDs.
All right, enough beating around the blues, Bob. Give us your fucking monthly income and then subtract the blues.
They call me a blues man.
Negative $690.
Oh,
That's my,
baby's
overall
milk money.
monthly take. It's negative $690. That's a lot of blues.
When considering
yeah,
the
you can-
blues.
You can buy this anywhere. You can rent this. It's pretty easy to find if you want to. This is an earlier A24 joint from 2016, rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 31 minutes. This was written and directed by Brian Bertino from The Strangers fame.
Wait, the new one or the old one?
No, the good one.
I know, just
The,
Whew.
the only one that matters so far. This stars Zoe Kazan, Ella Ballantyne, Aaron Douglas. Fairly small cast in this one here. Plot synopsis brought to you by IMDb is as follows. A mother and daughter must confront a terrifying monster when they break down on a deserted road. Gentlemen, have you seen this movie before? And would you recommend folks check it out? Ready, Randy, kick us off.
I am not ready. I would say that no. First of all, no, I've not seen this movie. I was not aware this movie existed. So I'm pleased to have become aware of it. I don't know that I have a very strong recommend for this or a strong opposite of recommendation for this. I wouldn't say avoid it. I'd say if it's on, you could do worse. But I'm not gonna tell people to go out of their way for it. To be honest with you,
Medium to loose. Sounds good.
I would say medium to loose. Yes, I think that's about the nomenclature I would use.
Juice, what about you?
I had never seen or heard of this before. Complete unknown for me as well. And yeah, I think I'll echo that. Yeah, it's just kind of a medium film, to be honest. I mean, actually, this might be the most appropriate medium to loose recommendation that has existed on this podcast. Bob, how about you?
Ooh. We should do a ranking
No
of
joke
the most
this time.
medium to
It's really-
loose.
Yeah, how medium to
Movie.
loose is this?
Ooh, boy, that's a game of inches. That's a game of centimeters.
Bob?
Great gracious. Yeah, I've seen this once before. This is my second time watch. And yeah, it's a loose recommend. This is
Not medium.
medium to loose. I think
Oh,
this
okay.
is like somewhat typical for A24, I think. They put out better stuff, they put out worse stuff, so very medium, very loose.
Hmm.
Sounds like we're pretty
Across
much
the
on the
board.
same
Sounds
page.
like a
here.
really
Yeah.
heavy recommend for this movie, I think.
Hey, watch it if you want.
Sounds like a good time for Bob.
A really good time. We are going to be
Okay.
spoiling the shit out of the monster. And here comes your warning.
Spoiler warning.
Bob, another easy plot synopsis for you.
Pop
Yeah.
it on me, big dog.
Another one.
Car, monster, ambulance, fire, sunrise.
Yeah.
Credits.
I think you should do all of your plot synopses in emojis. That'll read really well in the audio.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, here's the plot for The Monster. Kathy is driving her teenage daughter Lizzie over to her father's house as it's his turn for custody. Tired of
Teenage?
taking. Yeah, I think she's probably
She's supposed to be a teenager?
13, maybe. I don't know. Maybe do they say the actual age?
I would place her around like 10.
10. She's young. She's a child.
She's young.
Whatever the age. Tired of taking care of her abusive, unstable, and alcoholic mother, Lizzie makes it clear she wants to live with her father permanently. As night falls, Kathy hits a wolf with her car, but its injuries look like they were sustained by an animal attack rather than the car. Kathy's injured in the collision, forcing Lizzie to call a tow truck and ambulance. The tow truck arrives, and its driver, Jesse, begins working underneath the car. Lizzie notices the wolf's body is gone and becomes frightened. Tired with bickering, Kathy gets out of the car to talk to Jesse, but cannot find him. Jesse's severed arm abruptly lands on the hood of the car. A severely mauled Jesse crawls out of the woods, only for a monstrous creature to drag him underneath the tow truck and eat him before Kathy can help.
Damn.
Attracted by
I'm in
the...
a tight spot.
That's very true. Attracted by the sound of music emanating from Lizzie's teddy bear, the monster drags Kathy out of the car. Luckily, it's scared off by the approaching ambulance before it's able to kill Kathy. Kathy and Lizzie cower. Kathy and Lizzie cower inside the ambulance. The monster slaughters the EMT team. It smashes into the ambulance when Kathy tries to drive off, causing her to swerve into the woods. Kathy begins vomiting up blood and realizes she has internal bleeding. Now aware that the monster is scared away by bright lights, Kathy uses her lighter to make a torch and tells her daughter she's got a plan. She's going to run into the woods so the monster will chase after her while Lizzie escapes to get help. Kathy finally admits to Lizzie that she truly does love her. Under the impression that Lizzie's now gotten away, Kathy allows the monster to attack and kill her, but Lizzie, who is unwilling to leave her mother behind, chases it away with a flashlight. A distraught and enraged Lizzie, now determined to avenge Kathy's death, uses her mother's lighter and a spray can she finds inside the ambulance to set the monster ablaze. Despite it being fatally injured, it attempts to lunge at her once more. She finally beats it to death with a large stick. Lizzie recalls a particularly hateful alcohol-fueled encounter with her mother, in which she apologizes and correctly predicts that Lizzie will grow up to be a much better person than she ever was. We then see the sun rise, and Lizzie emerges from the woods. Roll them credits.
All right.
There you go.
So the little girl who was in this, I guess she was 13 when the movie filmed. God, I don't know. I didn't place her at that age.
Yeah, I don't think they say an age, but she's young, maybe 12 in the movie. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking tweenish, maybe.
Really?
But,
Okay.
she could pass for like 10. That's the thing about like kids are often cast a little bit older. For whatever reason, they just like age them down with their outfits and whatnot.
yeah. She is. I mean, even if she's 10 or 12 or 13 in the movie, whatever the age, she's extremely like mature for her age and like handles herself
Totally.
very well, and she's clearly
Out of
had to do
necessity.
that. Yeah, exactly, because of how her mother
Hmm.
is. And there's the flashbacks in this movie are like so much more brutal than like the monster stuff that we get. Like the flashback of her mother like screaming at her to fuck off, and like her being, puking in the toilet, and like just like really horrific flashbacks and stuff. That's like, A24 gets kind of like sort of dunked on now, I think, because it's, the horror is just trauma. It's,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen that like ridiculous Sopranos meme going around. It's like Christopher explaining elevated horror to Tony, and
Yeah.
it's like it's called elevated horror, T. It's where the Dracula's just that your mom's an alcoholic. You know, you can fill in whatever it is. That's kind of what it is. That's kind of like the A24, like, you know, it doesn't bother me. I think it bothers a lot of people that, you know, that when you boil it down, a lot of the times it's just a different sort of trauma. That's just kind of what horror is, though, a lot of the time.
A lot of well, the thing is like they kind of cornered the market on that, so it's a byproduct of them doing a good job at something no
Yeah.
one else was really doing a great job at least not consistently. So you know,
Yeah.
it became kind of passe over like the course of like a decade to some extent, to some folks.
I would
But, you
agree
know,
because Blumhouse was like really filling that spot of, especially in the early days, of just like the kind of straight up, almost classic style horror, bringing that
mhm.
back. So
And this
yeah, you
brought
need
some
some
like
artsy fartsy shit too.
yeah, you had your like they brought the straight horror in a small form, and A24 brought like the
The good
the more
horror.
heady more heady artistic horror. And some of that like schlocky horror kind of fell to the wayside a little bit. People got a little bit over that after the
Mm.
over zombie and Dracula overdoing that happened.
And now it's
Now,
coming back.
so I don't mean to be pretentious. I really did kind of think this, but I was curious if anybody else had this read on it. But talking about A24 and the trauma
Mhm.
of it all, but I kind of took this kind of little journey and the monster, not even like by the end, just I don't know, most of the film. I saw it as this almost kind of representation of a type of abusive relationship, because at the beginning, when she wakes up, she's like, I don't remember the guy's name. She's like, "Where's Roy?" or whatever. And
Mhm.
when the mom wakes up,
Yeah.
and then we have another instance where I don't know, it's probably the same guy, coming down and being really scary and kind of like abusive towards the mom and the little girl or whatever, a confrontation. And so I kind of saw this as a kind of like storytelling version of that. Did anybody else kind of
I
get that
knew the
read on
monster
it?
was like standing in for something or other, and like I think that's about as good of a guess as any. Like I didn't
Yeah.
really have a strong. The thing is, like it felt almost too vague to pin down. But it did seem like they were pointing at something. And for the record, that was Roy, played by
Boy.
Scott Speedman, who you guys
Ooh.
probably know from Underworld films, and who
Oh,
we all
was it?
know from
Oh,
The
let's
Strangers.
see Michael.
He was Roy.
I mean Michael in I'm sorry,
Underworld.
in
Oh,
Underworld.
I don't fucking know. So,
Oh, you will,
yes, yes, he was
brother.
actually. Yes,
Yeah, Michael.
Michael. That's what it
Yeah.
says. Okay.
Oh, you will.
But it's
Michael.
weird. I just thought that was kind of strange because like his role is like very very quick. Like he's only in like
For
two scenes, I
sure. I
think.
didn't even realize
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
in The
Hmm.
Strangers. Is he the main
He's
guy?
like the main
Oh,
guy.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well, there you go.
There you go there.
He's the Bluebell guy.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
Um,
I read the monster as just being a stand-in for an abusive parent because like in that one night, like, you know, she says goodbye to her mom and as the monster is also killed, like they're sort of, I don't know, one and the same in that evening. She's sort of saying goodbye to both of them, both her mom and like I guess squaring off with her trauma and even like the teddy bear that sort of like symbolizes her whatever innocence or whatever youth she might have left. She uses that as as distraction for the monster so that
mm,
she can like torch it, like she throws it away, you know. It's like
like yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I think that if I had any read on it, it would be something along those lines. But it's like the monster to me is like the idea of falling to alcoholism. So it's the
mm,
mom's monster until she gets overtaken by it, and then the little girl has to eventually like basically battle a hereditary thing that like she doesn't she manages to get out right away. You know what I mean? She sees the monster for what it is and gets out from under it. That's
uh,
kind of what I was toying with, which is
I
maybe a little
didn't
less substantiated.
I didn't read any like hereditary thing, but just like her dealing with the abuse that she's already taken from her mom's disease, you know,
yeah.
Yeah.
I
as
actually,
being the monster.
I actually thought that I thought that they did a pretty good job with the elements of the mom and the daughter in some good subtle ways too. So we mentioned that the little girl, she acts way more mature than she is because she kind of has to. The opening scene is kind of like her cleaning up after her mom, throwing the cigarettes away, clean, getting the house clean and being on time and ready, and her mom is like drunk in the in the bed and stuff like that, super late. But even the element of the doll I thought was like a nice touch because you and her fear and anxiety. So she's like very mature, but she's also doesn't feel secure or protected. But she also has this regressive state. So like she takes on these responsibilities because she has to, because her mom is so irresponsible, but at a much older age than she should be, she's still clinging to these dolls that are appropriate for like a 2 or 3 year old. So she's got this regressive state because she has no emotional stability in her life. She doesn't feel safe around her mom. Her mom is putting her in situations that continuously make her feel unsafe, whether from the mom or from like the boyfriend who's around or whatever the situation is.
Hmm.
Even, when they get into the wreck, she calls her dad. One of the first things is like, oh, was your mom drunk while she was driving?
Right.
Those kind of things. So like she has this instability that forces her to like regress emotionally on a consistent basis. So I thought that was a nice little touch without having to kind of like hammer that home. That felt pretty
No,
authentic.
Yeah.
it did feel authentic, and like that's what's interesting about this film is it's coming hot on the heels of us talking about Crawl, which is similarly a B movie concept that is played somewhat straight. You know what I mean? Like I was thinking about that a lot. We had a lot of negative things to say about Crawl last week, and a lot of it had to do with like the acting and the writing, and that's where this movie is like, man, this movie is like just leaps and bounds above Crawl. It's playing with the same sort of like taking this B movie concept very seriously and very straight, but the dialogue, the way that things are presented, and just these actresses, they're allowed to be so much stronger. Like I don't know, I'm a mark for Zoe Kazan to begin with, though. She's like a celeb crush. She's great, and then the little girl does a great job too. I forget. I'm sorry, I'm gonna look up her names. I don't want to say the little girl, but
Ella
what's her name?
Ballantyne.
Ella Ballantyne. Yeah, she does a great job as well. Like they really feel like I don't know if like they don't like physically look related, which is interesting, but they have a really really good like troubled mother-daughter dynamic that really feels lived in and authentic, and they don't have to just outright state everything they're thinking like we do in Crawl and things like that. I don't know. I just couldn't help but compare those two movies because it just it's like they're both monster movies basically. You know
Who's
what I mean?
who's mommy's little apex predator?
Oh
Yeah,
no.
No, you don't get any of that shit.
yeah, the troubled relationship being portrayed somewhat through a monster movie lens. Like, I don't know. It demanded comparison for me.
Yeah, I thought like there were some scenes that I thought hit really well, hammering home like the relationship with the mom and daughter. Like I think the one that was most effective to me was when the daughter doesn't want her mom to go to the play and they're fighting because in that moment they're both she like the mom is I get seemingly sober or whatever. It's just a moment where the girl's starting to get to an age where she's standing up for herself or a little bit like she's not too scared to express like what she wants, and she's come to the conclusion like I don't want you at my play. Like, I need you to take care of me, to drive me to the play, to get me there, whatever. But, like, I don't want you to be there. So that I thought that and the interaction from them, I thought actually too, like, in like some small like, I actually thought the mom played it pretty well because I thought her like in that scene in particular, but other scenes of her like no like showing that she knows that she's kind of a piece of shit,
Yeah.
but it still hurts emotionally, like it's still like she knows her daughter's not wrong, but it hurts. Like
Well,
it
that's
sucks
the
to know that or
pattern of
whatever.
a
I thought that that
self-destructive
was pretty good.
person.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like that's the thing is I really love that too because it's like this is what the self-destructive personality is like. Like it doesn't matter that they care about somebody even if they do. It doesn't matter if you love somebody even if you do because you're going to ultimately do things that are self-destructive and those self-destructive things end up destroying the relationships that you have with people. And it's like it doesn't matter that she's sober in that moment and she's trying to do the right thing this time. It's that she's already fucked up, and now her daughter's like not interested in showing her off to not interested in being disappointed again, really. And
Being
so she
embarrassed
has
by her mother's
right.
attendance because clearly she doesn't know how to handle herself. And like in that moment when she's just screaming like fuck you over and over again to her
Hmm.
child, it's just like clearly outlines her how mature she is as a human being.
Right.
And
It's her
I
leaning
mean,
into her vice of like self-destructive childishness in the
yeah,
face of
Mhm.
basically having already made a mess of her child's life.
it's hard to watch that scene. That's tough, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that one felt authentic because even that you're right,
Yeah,
that idea of like saying like fuck you, it's because like the mom is like not mature enough to be a mom. So in some way
Hmm.
she
hmm,
feels like a kid to like a kid taking care of a kid. And because the younger
yeah,
girl feels so mature that in that moment when the mom she's almost treating her like a sister or like like an equal, which is does a great job of explaining why the daughter has to develop in that
yeah,
way.
Hmm.
So that we see the moments of like which she's got to take care of the mom when she's drunk and stuff like that, but I actually think that that scene like really encapsulated a lot of the
yeah.
best kind of like subtle aspects of what this movie does well, and I thought that that was one of the most significant. The other one too was the watch scene when she gives her the watch, because even in that moment
Hmm.
the mom is defensively hostile. Like she's not able to express a gentle kind of love because even she's like still placing she's like, well, you're not coming back. I know you're not coming back, and it's not even coming from a place of like understanding or sympathy or um an apologetic type of thing, even though she's trying to do something good and meaningful for the dog. She's trying to leave on a somewhat positive note of like, I have this is the only thing I can give you that has some meaning or that has, and it's
Hmm.
still done in hostility,
Well,
like
yeah, again, yeah.
it's
It's that
yeah.
it's that like it's that impulse to when you feel insecure about something to lash out, but it's your
Mm.
own daughter. It's what's destroyed your relationship. She still can't cage that tiger even in a moment where she has the clarity to think like, well, I owe this girl something and this is the only
Mhm.
thing that I have to offer her that I can give her. So she is a little like I think that's about as good as she can manage until like an emergency comes up and then it becomes, like way less in her head about it. You don't have time to be insecure when you're being attacked by a fucking monster. You just have to survive it. So it opens up those floodgates a little bit, and she starts like not doting's the wrong word, but she starts being like reflexively affectionate towards her daughter for the first time in the movie, basically because of
Yeah.
the emergency situation. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. Also, I'm sorry, Bob. Were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna touch on another flashback, but if you've got something else to add, go for it.
Hit that first. I got something that we'll all want to talk about later.
There's a one of the more memorable scenes in this, I think, is where you see the little girl like crack the hardest. In another flashback when her mom is like, passed out drunk on the couch, and the girl like gets a knife and like kind of holds it over her mom and is like whispering like how much she hates her mom and she just wants her to leave her alone. She wants the distance between her mother and she's just not getting it. And she gets like so desperate that she doesn't actually like try and kill her mom, but she thinks about it at least, which is like pretty fucking terrifying, especially for a child that young. But I don't know, that scene like really stood out to me in a way that like I don't know, just illustrates like how abusive their relationship is, even if it's not necessarily physical. just like the trauma that she's gonna have to be therapized later, to get through for sure.
You're not wrong, but I
Just
did
push
not
that
like that.
down.
Just stuff
I did
it,
not.
just cap it, bury it
No,
deep.
You didn't like that,
it'll be
Randy?
fine. I mean, I just didn't like. I felt like that was out of character for her. I know that she like it's like a hurt people sort of thing. Like I understand to some degree, but it's such a huge leap from the little girl that just wants to like get out from a somewhat abusive and somewhat certainly neglectful situation. Like I don't I don't know. It just felt a little bit like bigger than it ought to have been. Like I don't think that she wants her mom dead. Like it didn't really feel like that the whole movie. That's the only scene where that's even kind of implied to me. There's a difference between wanting to be out from under an oppressive family member and wanting to murder them. Like I don't think it was a desire to murder. And maybe it was lashing out, but it was lashing out like for who, you know? Like it's not like she's the only one that's participating in it or even knows about it happening.
I actually agree with Bob. I think it is I think it's good to show that state of the daughter because so many times we're showing like, she the very first scene, she's responsible, she's doing these things, but some of the richness of this film comes from those moments where, she's squeezing the doll and the mom says you're too old for that. These little moments that show the cracks in that she is a child or whatever. And I think it's not necessarily from the fact that she wants her mother dead, but it comes from a lack of understanding the world and like still being very immature in experience in life and like being taught the right kind of way because from this like innocent perspective of like she knows that she wants to be with her dad and they don't explore that element so like it as far as we can tell it seems like the dad at least is in a more stable
Yeah.
situation or whatever.
Mhm.
So really what we can imply from that is the little girl sees this as a perception of the only thing keeping her from a normal life, like being raised and not like this thing that she probably like just wants and needs so much of like just be a normal fucking person. I want to be a child. I don't want to be cleaning up your puke and your cigarettes and shit like that. Is just this mother not allowing that to happen or being the obstacle that stands in her life. So as this like immature aspect all that she is able to fully like process and understand like she in the mom's desperate state of like hurt the daughter's there to hug her and like
Mm-hmm.
give her love and then the when the mom is like comfortable the daughter is able to be selfish for once and what she wants is to have that normal life and the obstacle is like the mom and so her having that like just kind of basic child kind of reaction not a child that's not a basic but like a basic human type of thing of like you're the obstacle that's standing in my way of like a basic need to
I
be
mean, I
with my
get all
father and
that.
stuff I thought I agree with Bob I
I
thought
don't
that was
know.
pretty
For
good.
for for my part, I feel like that can all be said in another way, and that's the thing that I have a trouble with. Is like I just don't get a violent feeling from this girl. No matter like, at no point does she feel like except for that point, does she feel like she's a danger to anybody. She is the one that's in danger, and she's like her mom's basically not in the exact same position, but in a pretty similar position to when she like hugged her on the floor of the bathroom. Like she's passed out drunk again, and this time the girl is like upset about it or whatever. But I just feel like holding a knife to her is like it's too violent to even be like an impulse that she would have. I feel like that's more writing to the audience instead of writing to the character. Like it's writing to tell us that she's feeling that when it's not necessarily I think what's truest to the character. That's just how I feel about it. And it's like it's a quibble. It's not the world.
Yeah,
It's not world
I
ending,
guess you
whatever. But
could have that exact same scene just without the knife. I do think it's important to show
Yeah, she
her
could be whispering, yeah.
she
have
could
a
be like picking up the
breakdown in
phone,
some way
hit
though.
911, and pause it before hitting send or something. I don't know. Like there's a million things that can be done. This is a responsible kid, right?
Yeah,
I
and
don't know.
maybe they maybe they do that to like help kind of prepare you for the ending where she goes like, full predator with like the flamethrower and like does murder this like beats the hell out of a monster and sets it on fire. It's like maybe they're kind of preparing you for that to show that like she's willing to do what's necessary. Obviously, she doesn't want to kill her mom, and when her mom does get hurt and is clearly about to die, like that scene is extremely hard to watch too because she's like begging her mom not to leave her. She loves her mom. She does definitely doesn't want her to die. But I don't know. Maybe you could have done that in a better way. But I think it's important to have a scene where you really do you see the girl like have a breakdown moment because that's she's not gonna be
Yeah, a breakdown moment.
mature and measured in every situation.
It's just a
Yeah.
matter of how it's handled for me. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the thing is, like, I think all that stuff is solid. The thing I was going to bring up before, which is not like this is just something that we were going to get to regardless, I'm sure, is just the horror element of this movie. Like the monster itself, I think is one of the strongest things about it in terms of effects. I think this thing looks pretty fucking good. I was pretty pleased, especially after last week when we saw like, fully CGI, pretty mediocre looking stuff. I don't know, I was happy to see something practical and that they mostly keep under wraps. They might have shown a little too much of it at the end, I would say. But aside from that, like I thought it looked pretty imposing and I don't know, I just was pretty taken with it. I liked it.
I disagree with most of that.
Yeah.
I agree with the fact that last week the CGI alligators look like dog shit, and it is like 99% of the time much better to have something that's practical. But I thought they showed way too much of this thing. I did like the setup, the wolf and the tooth and stuff like that. But once they let it out of the bag, man, they show it way too much, way too clearly. You could see the full design. It's just staring it in the face. And it looked kind of cheesy to me, to be honest. I didn't think it, I wasn't crazy about the design. Certainly not showing that design full front and
Full
lit,
frontal.
full frontal. But
I think only really showed its
you
head
know what it
fully
kind of
lit.
reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of fucking that Donnie Darko thing. I just,
Yeah, I
I
know what you're
did
talking about.
not like the little rabbit guy and Donnie Darko, whatever. Kind of
Oh,
had
the
like the
bunny?
ear, yeah, kind of had like the ears and shit.
It
Huh.
reminded me of Rick Moranis and Ghostbusters a little bit because of the
Kind
like
of,
just the
yeah.
physical shape of it.
I see
Um,
that more than the bunny. I liked it, honestly. I'm
Uh,
glad they showed it as much as they did, because if it was mostly in shadow, I feel like the movie is already at like a little thin for me. If they showed the monster even less, it'd be even more thin, I think. And since it was all practical, I thought what they showed looked pretty solid generally.
I think that's where I'm pretty much at. Like yeah, I think that if I think they could have hit it a little bit more. I think maybe like 15% more hiding of the creature or withholding of the creature maybe even
yeah.
would have
You gotta
been a
edge
little more
Randy
to my
these
liking.
days.
You gotta edge me, baby. But ultimately, like I think the design was cool. Ultimately scary, no, but it's a creature feature. I'm almost never scared of the monster in a creature feature, like design based fear. So I'm not really looking for that. I'm looking for like, does it look imposing? Does it look like something that if it was real, I would be kind of freaked. I would be scared by it, or does it operate in a fashion that is frightening? And I think that latter part it definitely does because of the way it hunts, the way it stalks, and things like that. It feels very animal, which is perfectly appropriate. Like it's an uncontrollable wild creature that is of unknown origins and looks like kind of like a Cloverfield monster with big ass fucking attack the block teeth. And that's that's cool. That it serves the purpose of being a monster in this film really really well. And and more than anything, I was just pleased at the fact that it looked like it exists in the world, whereas if it was
Mm.
CG, probably would not have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm crazy about it, but yeah, I mean, it didn't like bother me so much, but I was just, it was kind of also too, since we're moving into the more critique area, we praised it a decent amount. I did not like the ending. I've thought about it because I was thinking about the ending. I'm not really sure how to end it in a better way, but I do think that there is better ways. Like, I had to just, I understand the mom was hurt in the wreck, and
Mhm.
and even her kind of admitted like I'm gonna die whether I go or not, to kind of tell her daughter straight or whatever. But her like going out there and then dying, and then the little girl just still being stuck in the ambulance and then setting up this
Yeah, no, I
trap and shit. I
totally agree
was
with you.
like, I don't, that just does not
If she had waited,
feel.
I
The mom
yeah.
needed, I wanted the mom's, that's, I wanted the mom's sacrifice to kind of mean something a bit more.
Yeah.
We've gone through this whole thing where the daughter's resentful, the mom's resentful, even in touching moments, they're kind of bitter towards each other, and there's no ever moment of uh, like straight love or vulnerability. And the mom like kind of finally shows it, but it doesn't really mean anything. It kind of
I
sucks.
agree with you. I totally agree with that. Like I think that this ending is very like mixed messagey, and it feels like they set up a better ending of some kind, but it doesn't happen because like there's this running thread of the little girl saying you never listen, and the mom showing that she doesn't listen, and then like it would have been more coherent to me if like I don't know if the little girl like came up with a plan and the mom or something but I don't know if there was some sort of like
Listens to the plan, yeah.
collaboration and she has to listen to her daughter, she has to, in order to save her daughter's life even at the expense of her own,
Mm.
and then she gets to make the final sacrifice after taking her daughter's advice. Like if her daughter had come up with the like had realized, oh, he's scared of light, or oh, he's afraid of fire or whatever, and then like she came up with the whole plan of the like the flamethrower, like if the mom had waited 5 more minutes she might have come up with that and had a better plan, had it as some offensive tactic besides going out there and just dying. I know she's bleeding internally or whatever, but she seems like she's holding it together in that scene, at least enough to where like she's just kind of going out and like laying herself down prostrate to like she even like dunks the fucking
Yeah, she's
torch.
not
It
fighting it off
feels
or whatever.
So
like,
that
do you
it'll
really think
attack
she's going
her.
to be able to run
Sure,
away from this
yeah.
thing? It chased down an ambulance you're in. Like, I don't
Yeah,
think.
she's not trying.
I don't think she's
She's
trying to run away.
sacrificing herself. I think it works ultimately because like the mom is not capable of protecting her child. She's not capable of caring for her child. Like we see at the very beginning of the movie, the roles are reversed. Like the mom is the child, so to speak,
Well,
in
that's
this
why I wanted to see them
situation.
reverse back, like a redemption of some kind, like more
Well,
than just being like, I'm going to throw myself to the wolves.
I think there's sort of an emotional arc in the mom where she finally can be honest with her daughter and say like, "You're the reason I live," basically. Like you're the most important thing to me. I love you. But at the end of the day, she's still who she is, and she's not a capable human being, and she makes a stupid decision. And true to the daughter's character, like her daughter could run, like her mom does sacrifice herself to try and like distract the creature. The daughter could run, but she's so used to taking care of her mother, she can't bring herself to leave her mother, so she goes to try and save her. I mean, the characters are consistent in that. So I mean,
That's
it
true,
it might
yeah.
not be the
I mean,
most satisfying like movie ending, and I wouldn't argue that it is, but I think it makes a lot of sense given the
Consistent,
characters
yeah.
and how they're written.
I
Just
guess
not
I just don't like.
satisfying.
It's not. I
Well,
get
it doesn't feel
I
like a
get that.
conclusion. It feels like a continuation. Like it doesn't feel like an arc coming to a close. It
Yeah.
feels like the same level all the way through the
But
credits.
it does,
I
yeah,
just don't.
Bob's right. It is consistent with their characters. It
That's the thing is
just
like at a certain point the character needs to change. That's the like there's got to be something going on with the hero's journey. I would think anyway. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
that's what makes stories happen is they feel conclusive because some like the ultimate core of the problem, the mom's lack of ability to care enough about her daughter to listen and pay attention and be more than neglectful. That's her big fault. And she doesn't really solve that by doing what she
Well,
does.
I
She
agree.
just sort of
Even
like,
if they had done like a plan where the daughter comes up with something and the mom agrees, and then in the mom's situation, she realizes that she can't do it well, or she can't, or like she's gonna, and she willingly does give herself. That would feel a little better. I
right.
don't know.
Like if she
I mean,
tried
but you're right.
something,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
what happens does. fit consistently with how the mom is. It's such a dumb plan to just be like,
Yeah.
she leaves her daughter again. It just like that feels,
Right.
because then the daughter's got to be there and watch her mom bleed out as she dies. And I'm just like, God, this fucking
Yeah.
sucks.
It's the
Like,
movie's very much it's not the mom's story, it's the little girl's story.
sure.
And her killing the monster, I really do believe is her like taking down the damage that her mother has done and like wrestling with it and like
Yeah.
owning it and becoming her own person because she really doesn't have
Well,
another
yeah.
choice.
At the end, she's like, "Oh, I'm not afraid of monsters anymore. And
Yeah,
sometimes they're
which
real,
is
but
like a
I'm not afraid of them
little
anymore."
cheesy, but yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is a little cheesy, but like, I don't know. I hear you, and I think that there is something to that. I just don't think that ultimately it. I don't think that the mom gets a full arc, and I kind of I don't like the way that ends like for her. I feel like her sacrifice, it's not that it didn't mean anything ultimately, it's just that it didn't accomplish anything, and it didn't land a plane of her the plane of her character arc in any way that mattered to me.
Yeah.
Like
Because
it
even
just
like
didn't really land.
Bob's saying like, oh, the daughter's got to do this to like put all the shit behind her. But I mean, to be like, I don't like, yeah, we get that sense that she could do that at the beginning of the film. She's literally taking care of her mom. She's taking care of the house
Hmm.
at a very, very young age. So it doesn't really, yeah, it doesn't feel like, I mean, yeah,
It doesn't
good
feel
for
like any time has
her.
passed.
Good that
Like,
she, but yeah, it doesn't feel like anything had to be accomplished or any lesson needed to be learned or anything needed to
right.
change. It's just like, I assume she's capable at the beginning of this film
If this was a
of
more
doing that.
experimental
Yeah.
kind of film, then I can accept that sort of thing, whatever, it's fine. But like this feels very like
I can't
rooted in
accept
hero's
it.
journey type stuff. And at the end of the movie, at the end of the hero's journey, the hero's supposed to have come home having changed, and it doesn't. It feels like maybe the little girl has to some extent, but it doesn't feel like her mom ever landed her own journey that way.
Well, I think the mom is too far gone, and it's not a satisfying ending. Like it's not necessarily satisfying. It might be more like true to life, But
I do think it's probably more
there's
true to life because the planet, the mom, what she does is
yeah,
it's well meaning, but it's fucking stupid. But she's very incapable. So
she's not very
yeah.
capable. I think there's
I just wish
definitely
that.
an emotional understanding, and like there's an
Yeah.
honest emotional
Sure,
exchange between the characters. So there's growth in that. But
Yeah.
they are
sure.
ultimately who they are at the beginning of the movie as well. They just
I
understand
just
each
think it
other a
needed
little
one more
better.
signifier or like
Yeah.
turn.
I get
Like
it.
again, like
I get
I
it.
just wish that like
Yeah.
she had just like the daughter had said like no, use this instead or something, and the mom, like, instead of saying shut up, I'm thinking, or something, or whatever she's gonna say, she's like mom, really listen, and she's like okay, and then she takes her daughter's
Yeah.
plan, and then the plan goes to shit, but she tried
Sure.
and she listened to do it. That to me is all it would take to push this over and make
Me
it like
too. I
reasonably
agree.
satisfying.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Well, fellas, any other points you want to touch on before we rate this thing?
Mm,
No,
I
I mean
think I
we've
can
kind of
bring
like
it up
been
enough.
pretty positive towards this for having said
I
it was
think we give it a
medium
good
to Lucy
split.
at the
I think
beginning.
we give it a pretty good
Yeah.
split, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Yeah.
go and rate this thing out of five. Ready, Randy? I hope you're ready to rate this out of five. How do you think?
Oh,
What do you
Yellow
feel?
Randy, he's here. The yellow fella.
Yellow Mellow
Yeah,
Randy.
fella.
Um yeah, I think I still feel largely the same. I feel a little bit better towards this movie having had this conversation because it did really kind of like dust off some of the stuff that what I didn't think was working as well, and also like I don't know, it kind of evened me out on it a little bit. But it also like it didn't change it that much. At the end of the day, I feel like there's like just some missed opportunity in this. If there's some good juice, but not enough for the squeeze, ultimately, I don't think. That's why I don't feel like I would recommend it to too many people. I feel like it's just it's not quite a super effective monster movie, and it's not quite a super effective family drama. It's kind of down the middle on both, and that's kind of a shame because there's some like the good elements, the really good acting, I think, some pretty decent dialogue exchanges, some pretty impactful like just scenes and flashbacks and stuff are kind of brought down by like some weird editing choices that make it a little confusing, and I don't know. I just feel like it stood the chance of doing a lot more with what it was presenting at the front of the film. So I don't know. I'm still pretty down the middle on it. I think I'm more positive than negative though, so I'll give it a 2.75.
2 3/4 from your boy Ready Randy. Juice,
That's
how do you
good.
feel?
Yeah, I think I liked the first half of this movie a lot more than I like the second half. Even like the setup of the situation, the wreck, the wolf, the monster, them kind of like going back and forth in the car, and then the consistent like flashbacks. I was really on board with that, and then it started dropping more and more the more monster we get and the more it kind of is thin. There were moments where I was like, God, the scene is just going on too long because they got nothing
It
else to
repeats itself.
do. Yeah, it just there was a lot of dead space. It felt like just a really lot of slow, empty space that wasn't doing anything new or building anything. It just felt like we were stretching time sometimes. Um,
Hmm.
so in that, I just started to grow more and more impatient. As I said, I wasn't as crazy about the monster design and the look of it as you boys were. The ending just fell flat to me, and her little dialogue was, pretty cheesy there at the end of I'm not scared of monsters anymore and stuff. Like, come on, you've been really subtle up until now. Like, you've done a really good job of showing these kind of like things. We don't need that. We don't need that. It's just, but I really do feel like when they have space to fill, when they are trying to say something, they're saying it well. I thought that the writing and the acting did a really good job of really fleshing this relationship out in a realistic way. It felt authentic to me. Um, and even though it's hard to watch sometimes, I was like, yeah, that's, a very immature, youngish mom who resents her daughter would say fuck you to her over and over again because she's just that immature and that like desperate. Like it's just it that yeah, I don't know. I thought those scenes worked really well. So overall, I think I'm gonna give this a 3 point deuce five.
Hmm. All right.
Bob,
3 point deuce five.
out of five, where are you
That's
gonna go?
the lead. Such a weird way of saying it.
The Deucey Five. I really think the performances are what put this movie over the edge here. The mom and the daughter, Zoe Kazan and Ella Ballantyne, are just really kind of killing it, and I think elevating the material here. I do also think the monster looks solid. It's not blowing my mind necessarily, but I think they do a good job with the design, and I really appreciate that it's largely practical and just treated well. Like if the monster like looked like complete garbage, the movie would also just, fall apart. So I dig all that stuff. I think the flashbacks are like the true gut punches. Really difficult stuff to watch just because they are so effective. There's like maybe a couple scenes that actually reminded me a bit of Jurassic Park, like when the tow truck driver's arm like lands on the hood of the car. I was getting like some Jurassic Park vibes from that. And when the car or the ambulance flips over, they're being like chased down and all that stuff. I've never heard of a tow truck driver crawling underneath your car to make repairs before towing it. That was news to me. I was like, this guy's going above and
Yeah,
beyond.
dude.
In the
What's going
fucking
on?
pouring
I guess
rain
I
in the
don't know,
middle
Yeah,
of
man.
the night in the middle of
yeah.
nowhere.
And when
Yeah, that was.
when the fucking mom starts blowing the horn, thinking he's still underneath there, dude, I would be so pissed off
Me
if I
That
was
too,
was a
man.
there.
cool
Like, hey,
scene though,
motherfucker.
Yeah,
how the camera shows he's not there. Like
yeah.
I thought there was some good cinematography going on here too.
Totally. Yeah. The movie looks really good. The performances are good. The monster's good. It is ultimately like a little thin, just kind of across the board. The movie's just it's just kind of a straight line, and it is not super deep. It's just kind of like what you see is exactly what you think it is. which like, not every movie has to be like super convoluted or super late or anything like that. This was written and directed by Brian Bertino. And I like get the sense that maybe he just grew up around an alcoholic or knows someone who did or something and just wanted to like process that in a very one-to-one kind of way, which I get, and I think he did pretty successfully, as far as I can tell. Um, I guess the only other negative I have is like the rewatchability, like because it is such a bummer. Like I don't know that I'm just throwing this thing on maybe ever again. It's kind of a tough watch, but ultimately I think there's more good here than bad for sure. So I'm going to come in with a 3 even out of 5, and that's going to put our aggregate at a 3 even.
All right.
All right.
That seems
Yeah.
There you
reasonable.
go.
Medium,
And also,
loose, medium to loose.
also to
Yeah.
that scene where the mom's like digging through the recycling and she finds the bottle and it's just got a little bit and she's like kind of wrestling with it. I thought that was authentic and well acted as well.
Oh
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I that's one of those scenes where I'm just like, no, don't do it. Like I'm like
Yeah. No.
kind of doing my talk to the screen thing.
Oh,
Like,
no.
come on.
Oh,
Come on, be
no.
better. Be better.
Zoe, no.
Oh no.
Don't
like seeing-
do it.
No.
Randy
like seeing-
says no.
Did you just call me Randy?
Randy
Randy, Randy.
no.
Oh god. Okay.
Hey,
I don't like where
Hey.
this is going at all.
Yeah. That's
So-
weird.
whenever you guys do pick a movie for us to review on the show, you have the option to send over a voicemail or an email with your own thoughts and ratings about the movie you chose. And your boy Mike did send over an email. Juice, you got that pulled up?
I do. Here we go. Hey guys, long time listener, first time picker. I came across this movie a few years ago while looking for some monster films that were lesser known to me. At first, it seemed like it had everything you would want out of a diamond in the rough flick: an alcoholic mother and her self-sufficient daughter, a monster on an abandoned road, that guy who directed The Strangers, an A24 production. Yes, please. Unfortunately, it fell short of expectations in more ways than one. To its credit, I enjoyed the setting. The dead wolf body in the road was used to great effect in building tension in the beginning. I also thought the actors did a great job as well. Zoe Kazan and Ella Ballantine make a believable mother-daughter pair, though they do come off more as siblings at times, but maybe that was on purpose. I think that was on purpose. Where this movie really struggled character-wise was in getting me to care about the mother. I mean, there have been depictions of bad moms on film, but this one was the worst. I had no empathy for her at all. The lack of empathy made her whole addiction struggle and arc fall flat on its face. The movie also suffers from going back and forth between being a horror and a drama. Had it just leaned into the horror with some drama sprinkled in, I think it would have been able to draw me in more. In conclusion, I had high hopes for this movie. The first half was better than the second half, and I ended up sitting on my couch thinking more about the movie that could have been rather than the movie I saw. 2.5 stars for effort. Thanks for watching and keep on chilling. Thanks again, Mike.
Wow, that's mostly along the lines of what we were talking about. I don't really agree about feeling nothing towared the mom, nothing positive.
Yeah, that
towards
was
the
a
mom.
strain. Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'd quibble with there. It's just like I did. Like I felt like somebody it felt authentic to addiction to me.
Bad,
Like she
yeah.
Yeah, no,
totally.
she's a bad person. She's a bad mother. But like the worst mother in film? No.
No,
I don't know,
yeah.
man. Lucille Bluth is worse than her.
She felt like a woman who had a daughter way too early, who wanted to be better but was incapable of being better and just
Yeah.
couldn't allow her daughter to go in
Between
order to
addiction
allow
and
her to have it, yeah.
immaturity, it's just a toxic brew, and that's what ends up with somebody being a single mom with a kid sometimes, and it doesn't always work very well. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I don't know. I've known people with addictions and stuff, and it's it can make you irrational
Sex
and
addictions.
destructive. Well, why do you think I knew that? You had a
That's
real
why
problem.
Randy's been living on the edge.
Mhm.
Straight edge Randy.
That's what they call me. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I
I-
just don't see it quite that. I mean, like fucking Mommy Dearest exists. Fucking Carrie's mom exists. I can't imagine
I like
a
how
worse mother than that.
Mike sat down to watch this movie and was like, "Man, that really wasn't very good. I got to get these guys to watch it."
Look,
That's a very
appreciate it.
2.5 movie. I got to get the boys to check this one out.
look.
But
it
I
could
mean,
be
you know what?
worse.
To be fair, though, none of us had ever heard of this movie.
I'd
Yeah.
seen it.
Oh,
Oh,
never mind.
really?
That's
Did you say that?
Thanks for listening.
No, I don't do that usually. So
The
that
most
makes
important
sense.
members of this cast had never.
And just like I said, none of us
Rob,
had
Rob,
ever
please,
even
please.
heard
We're
of it.
talking.
Oh, Rob, just shut up. Finally, better late than never, asshole.
What is none of your business?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not Ready Rob, it's Ready Randy. Yes.
Yes.
None your
Oh, my
business.
God.
Oh, yes.
What do you mean you don't like it?
Yes. Thanks for picking this flick, Mike. You got one more chance
Thanks, Mike.
if you want. July 1st. Mark
Thanks
the calendars.
for introducing us all to this film, Mike. We
all
appreciate
three
it.
of us. Brand new. Randy, are you ready for Rotten Tomatoes?
Am I ever?
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which I'm going to have these gentlemen guess within the best of their abilities what the aggregate positive score is on RottenTomatoes.com, starting with the critics or the tomatometer and moving on to the users or the poopometer. Let's go over to the critics at 47 total reviews here. There are 47 total reviews. Bob, why don't you kick us off this week? What percentage of those reviews would you wager are positive reviews?
This is it is an A24 joint. It's a little brutal. I think it'll be on the positive side. Maybe not crazy positive. I'll take a 75%, please.
75%. All right. Soju, where are you coming in on this one?
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
ooh,
we're going to
that's-
need a different number than that.
That's right on the that's right on the cusp there. I was trying to do some quick math to see how we could potentially tie. I think if I go 79, then maybe it's 77. So 79.
So the over in hopes for a tie.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sorry to let you know.
I think it could be positive, but I'm wrong, I guess.
Yeah, you're not correct. It's not going to be a middle of whatever, a mean between you two. But on the upside, you are going to take the prize on this one. It's 81%. You were damn close.
Oh,
Just 2
okay.
points away.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough. I kind of thought it would be sitting around there too. It's kind of
Hmm.
hard to tell. But
It's a tough one to tell. Like it's certified fresh. Like I was a little surprised to see that it was that as high as it
It's
is. and
certified?
and all this stuff. It's certified. I think
how
80's the
how
cutoff.
many critics was there? I wasn't paying attention.
47 total critics.
I
Yeah.
thought you had to have more than that to be certified.
I kind of thought that too, but maybe it was like grandfathered in from before they changed the rules around. I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know. Yeah.
Oh, 2016. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's a little bit older.
Because
Anyway,
when we were at Beef, or like when we were talking to one of the directors, they're like, "Oh, if it just gets over this number, it's positive. But if it gets over this number, it'll be certified or whatever."
yeah, well, not maybe in 2016 years it's a little different.
Maybe it's like 100 now, or 120, or maybe hell yeet.
Mhm.
I
There
was
it
saying
is.
100, like 100%. I was like, maybe it's 100% to get certified. I was like,
No, you're just
that's a pretty
edging
tall
us.
order.
Y'all just
maybe,
wait for it.
maybe.
So much now. You're just like
There it is.
waiting for it.
Get it out. Go ahead.
Out with the bad air.
Just
in
do
with
it.
the good.
I need to stop
Let's move over to
waiting
the.
for a couple weeks, so y'all won't.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Do us a
impossible.
favor, please. We're sick of all this winning. 2,500 plus audience reviews. Damn, I cannot get this out. 2,500 plus
Get it
ratings from the
out.
audience.
what
The
she said.
poopometer is at 2,500 plus. We're going to go in reverse order here. Soju, what percentage of that would you call positive?
I think it's gonna be lower. 81. I'll take 69 dudes.
69 dudes. Well, goddamn.
69 dudes!
Bob, how many dudes are you going to take?
Definitely think it's going to be lower than the critics' score. 69. I don't know. I could see people being pretty frustrated with this. This reminded me a little bit of that other A24 movie, It Comes at Night, but like nothing ever fucking
Yeah,
comes.
that's a good call.
At night or in the
Spoiler.
weekends?
But yeah.
So I don't know. I could see people watching this and being like, maybe not as frustrated as that movie, but like still thinking like, that's it, huh? Huh. 69. I'll take maybe we can tie. I'll take a 67 dudes.
67 dudes. I don't have a bump for that. Well, unfortunately, again, no tie. And there's going to be a much more significant margin here because the correct answer is 40%. Rob's walking with this one.
Damn.
40%.
That's
People
a big
are
drop
not
off.
fans.
What that is a big hell skeet.
That's a hill skeet right there, Bob. That's a yeet and skeet.
The yeet and skeet special.
Oh,
See it every
boy.
day.
I see it every day.
Bullshit. Derivative.
Derivative.
Let's read some negative reviews and see what these critics' problems are. Okay, here we go. Strong acting, ambitious themes, and a limp final act make for one frustrating horror film experience. I mean, that seems pretty spot on.
Whose final act you call limp, guy? Damn.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
The impotent hunter over here.
And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
My boy Brian Boitano doesn't take kindly to that accusation. Okay.
Let's read one more here.
Yeah,
at random. Here we go. The central relationship almost turns the monster into something more thoughtful about the ways we can put differences aside for a greater threat to our safety. What? I don't understand that sentence.
Yeah, what the that's not what the movie's about.
Let's
So-
put our differences
Almost
aside,
turns-
daughter. I don't think so, buddy.
I think you missed
More
the point.
Okay,
I don't
there,
think
guy.
that's- there is a there is an ellipsis at the end, so maybe there's like a coherent thought at the second half of that statement. I don't know. I'll do one more. One more.
Sounds
One
like
more.
an
I swear.
impotent
One more.
review.
The limp
It
review.
fails to generate anything resembling scares or suspense here, and the fault rests almost entirely with the script.
My boy Brian Boitano doesn't take kindly to that.
That's a
I
limp
wouldn't say
script right there.
entirely, but
limp.
it's not the best part. All right, yeah,
Yes,
that's
yeah.
it. Fuck the Rotten Tomatoes. Bob, how's that trailer
Yeah.
going on this?
There's like nothing really.
Oh,
Okay. Well, what do you think? We're gonna go hunting?
Yeah, let's talk Cooter of the Week.
Straight chillin'. Cooter of the week.
Juice, what is a cooter and why do we hunt them?
oh, Bob. Cooter's character type. That is straight Sean exclusive. Cooter has to hit 3 of these 5 points to be considered a cooter, but we want the cooter with the most points. The 5 points of cooterdom are sexual deviance, manipulation, smug arrogance, overall looking attire, and overall patheticness. We do not have a lot of characters to pull from. It feels a
Mhm.
little mean spirited, but probably got to consider the bomb on this one.
Yeah.
I think she's the
I think
only one
she's-
that would really register.
Yeah.
I think Royce, like the only thing we see about Roy
Roy,
is like,
yeah.
like he gives Cooter energy, but he's in such a short
know
amount
if we-
of time.
It's like
Yeah, I don't know if
We
we
just don't have the
see it.
info. We can't
But
gather
probably.
enough Probably.
Yeah.
He seems like a
Probably.
real piece of shit. Yeah, so let's go down the list for the mom here, for Zoe. Sexual deviancy. I mean, tough to say based on what we get, but it seems like she's neglecting her child while like doing shit with Roy. I guess you could qualify that. I
That's
don't know if it's
just
sexually
like,
deviant. It's just shitty. Like
yeah, it's not sexually deviant, I don't think. But
Yeah.
it's being a piece of shit while being sexual.
while
Not
getting
really.
it in, yeah.
Yeah.
No kink shaming.
Yeah. I'm kink shaming. I'm
I
kink
might
shaming
shame that
neglecting your
kink.
child. I'm
If
sorry.
if that's the kink.
Ooh, man, I'm not gonna feed my kids tonight.
Make your own
Turned on.
beefaroni. Mom's getting it in.
Oh God. Uh,
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
oh, God.
Manipulation.
Yeah, yeah, when she comes out and she's like, "I'm sorry, okay," after she's been like sleeping and her
A little
daughter's been
manipulative,
trying
yeah.
to get her, yeah, and like kind of giving her the
It's just
walk.
overly
There's
defensive,
there's
though.
like
It's
some
not
emotional manipulation I feel like going on sometimes.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there is some, but it's like kind of low register stuff. Like it's more like very obviously defensive reactions to
Yeah,
things.
not
like, because
exactly
she knows she fucks up.
intentional manipulation, but like
Yeah.
just immature and trying to get herself
Mature,
off
yeah,
the
just-
hook.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like don't
exactly.
hate me, or do you
Yeah.
hate me, or yeah, just
Oh yeah, she does say that.
Cut
That's
me a
like pretty
break,
straight
kind of, yeah.
manipulation, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. So
I would give her
manipulation,
manipulation.
I gotta give her patheticness. She's just a bad mom.
She's pretty-
She's
I mean, yeah.
really bad mom.
Pretty bad, yeah. Yeah.
She's really bad.
Damn.
So patheticness and manipulation. Smug arrogance. Oh, she's fucking honking at the goddamn dude trying to fix her car. And like her attitude is pretty bad. She's got
Yeah.
a bad attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is
Just
that arrogance or just a bad attitude? I feel like there's a little bit of subtlety there.
I feel like if he was around, or when he was, she was like really kind of talking down to him, and then
might be a
I
stretch, but
I think it's a little bit of a stretch.
just
to
a
be
bad
honest, but,
attitude.
just a shit.
Looking
You
to
know,
tire.
I mean, she's strung out, so that's not a good look. Strung out
Unless
as
you're into
fuck.
that kind of look.
Yeah, most
And I am.
Well, kind of white trash look going on there.
Again, I
Yeah.
will say, so he has is a very attractive person.
Not my style,
yeah.
Randy. I'll let that.
Mhm.
That's all for
Oof.
you, buddy.
Randy's ready.
Randy is ready.
But not the strung out aspects.
Mhm.
Yeah, getting.
Believe you.
Oh, good, thank you. It all hinges on your belief.
Ain't
I don't know. What do we
just the
think? We got
way?
like a few like pretty low
Yeah, so
rumblings on the
maybe
McCages.
Cooter Light. She's
Yeah.
on
I
a
think
watch
Cooter
list. Maybe.
Yeah, she's on a watch list. Yeah, there you go.
Have you seen this
Um,
cooter?
We'll let you keep your kid, but we're monitoring you.
I don't know if I'd let her keep the kid. to be honest with
Yeah,
you, but-
probably not.
We're
Probably not.
stealing your kids away.
Yeah.
Bob's gonna watch them for a while.
That's- Bob, did you know that you were becoming a foster dad today?
No. If I had
Nah.
$1 for every time.
All right.
I hope you have $0.
I deserve at least $1.
Got to buy the blues with something.
Cooter Light.
Otherwise don't last forever.
Well, that dude does get gift cards, and
The
he
dude
just
gets
had a
gift cards.
birthday, so God,
I do got a gift card.
whoa, just one singular gift card.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
I know. Cooter Light, yeah, maybe no certified cooter this week. Sounds good. Let's talk about what we've been watching.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
Ready, Randy, what you been watching?
What?
It's been a Russian.
You gotta
What
follow
have I
me.
been
That
watching?
sounds dirty.
Yeah, just
That
follow
sounds
me.
filthy.
She been a Russian.
Actually, what was it? I don't remember the name of the gas station in this, but it reminded me of that gas station that I got you a koozie at, Bob, called Rotten Robbie's out
Rotten
in
Robbie's, yeah.
California.
I use that on occasion still.
You should, it's
It's a
Rotten
good
Robbie's,
koozie.
and the tagline is, or the slogan is, "Trying to be good." And I'm like,
Trying
I
to
love
be
this
good.
gas station.
Trying to
Fuck
be
Buc-ee's.
good.
Rotten Robbie's is where it's at.
Try.
Fuck fuckies.
Trying to be good.
Try to be
Just
Listen,
try.
man.
I mean, I'm rotten, but I'm trying. I fucking love-
Trying to,
There's
trying
some
to
real,
be a good
like,
mother. Yeah, that's like with this.
some real
What a
honesty in
slogan!
that.
Like
Yeah,
we know we
what-
suck, but we're trying to be good.
I
I
love
don't
it, man.
believe you.
If the Rotten Robbie is listening to this, please call in and we'll give you some
I
free
expect-
advertising.
You walk into the bathroom at that joint, and there's a shit on the floor. Like you just expect.
Honestly, it
it.
was pretty clean. It was like a pretty
Well,
nondescript.
they're trying to be good.
Trying to
They're
be good,
trying.
Randy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they are
They're being
trying.
Authentic. We're trying to be good. Buy a koozie.
Trying.
What the
Trying to be
koozie
good,
was.
dickhead.
There ain't even shit on the floor.
There was shit on the floor, but not no more because we're trying.
Not
Try.
Trying to be good. This is the kind of advertising you can expect from us, Rotten Rob.
Yeah, hey, you know
Um,
what? Sign up for our advertising program. Remember that old Dracula ad we made? That was pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, Dracula could be your spokesman, Rotten Robbie. He's trying to be
Mhm.
good too.
He's
Yeah.
trying.
Or
He's-
the Mummy or Frankenstein or
He sucks
whatever it
at it.
was.
but he's
Oh,
trying.
yeah,
Mhm.
he is
Oh.
trying.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
so yeah, there's that. I also I watched Life of Chuck in theaters. I got to see our pal our pal Franklin Rich in his quick appearance. That was
Oh,
nice. And it's it's an odd movie that like it's very existential. It's very melancholy. And it kind of it's portrayed. I'm trying to decide how to say this because it's spoiler adjacent, I guess. But
Soft?
it's like
What'd you say?
the way that
Soft.
it's the time works in the film is really interesting. I'll just say that. I'll leave it at that. I could go into more detail, but I'm gonna.
So
struggle
it's
to find
not
words.
linear.
It's a little bit non-linear. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
It's interesting.
And the performances are good, and there's some
It's
there's some
good.
real like
It's good.
solid stuff in that movie. I like it. Similarly, I finally watched Dinner in America, which has gotten a lot of like.
That's a weird one.
I haven't heard of that one.
got- Dinner in America. It came out in 2020, and it got like I think Red Letter Media picked it up, and so it became sort of like this word of mouth sort of deal. I finally got a chance to
Mhm.
watch it, and I liked it a good amount. It's got that Tyler Gallner in it, which is like the guy who's kind of becoming known, especially in the horror world. I
The
guess.
dude
He's
from
kinda-
Strange Darling.
Yeah, dude from Strange Darling, the dude from Smile, the first. I don't know. Like, I thought it was pretty good. I really fucking hated his character right out of the gate, and the movie
Yeah.
managed to turn me around. That's a pretty solid turnabout.
Yeah.
Um,
He's a prick.
he's a bit of a prick, but and I come from punk rock circles. It's a punk rock adjacent. Like I'm into that sort of thing to some degree. And buddy, this is not the kind of punk dude I want to hang out with for a lot of it. I don't know. I like it though. Like I don't know how else to say it. I recommend it.
That's good.
Maybe it doesn't quite live up to the hype though. Is I guess where I'm at.
Yeah, I watched that Red Letter Media. I watched the movie like whenever it came out a few years ago, and I watched their
Oh, really?
review this year, I think, when it came out. Some like maybe late last year, and their like rave review. I was like, man, I thought it was pretty good, but like I don't know. Yeah, it's worth a
The
watch.
music in it is good.
So you're
I'll tell you
saying
that
it's
much for sure.
biased review? Is that what you're saying, Bob?
I think they wrote him a check. Your boy Kyle Gallner.
We got a
I mean,
real
it's a
Chris
review. I
Stuckman
think
on
they're
our hands,
inherently
huh?
biased, are they not? Like,
He sent them. He bought them a cute check coin. and
When are
sent
people
that
going to
over.
start buying?
oh, now
us
they're
off?
rich.
And now they're
If
rich.
you want to
yeah.
buy us off for a good review, go
You
ahead
said
and
buy, right?
just click buy, yeah, on this video.
Yeah. Okay. We're killing time here now. So I also started watching another true crime series on HBO called The Mortician, which is pretty interesting. I don't think it's my favorite of the HBO true crime documentaries, but it's like, I mean, it's an interesting story. It's an interesting enough story. Again, I like it. if you want to go with that again. Just gonna
Eh.
go ahead and put that out there. Um, and then I did actually get a Switch 2. And so I've been playing a lot of the new Mario Kart, and I would not
Mario
say it's
Country or something like that.
Mario Kart Country is what they're calling it.
Oh.
Yes.
Hmm.
And I will say that like I don't think I can heavily recommend that you buy the Switch 2 right now. Like it's pretty lightly supported, it's pretty overpriced. All the things that people are saying are true, but it's got some nice features, and I really do think that might be I'm not the world's biggest Mario Kart fan to begin with, and I love the free roaming aspect of it, and I love the like interconnected tracks and stuff like that. So I have a good time with it. It brings me more to like a Zen Garden level than the previous games do, which just kind of stress me out. So
Like
I
Pokemon
like it.
Snap.
Yeah, exactly. There's these games that are just
I
kind of
know
like
my boy
they're not
Randy.
quite
I know what he
cozy
likes.
games, but they're
Yeah, you do.
You know what used to also have an open world was Diddy Kong Racing. Remember that show? I loved Diddy
Oh,
Kong
I
yeah.
never
Racing.
played that. Did it really?
It did, yeah. It had
Yeah,
like
you
an
could-
open.
I
You
had no
could
idea.
go and choose like what place. Yeah, it was open, and you could like switch vehicles in the open world. Yeah,
Mhm.
planes.
You could like drive between tracks and shit.
Yeah,
Wow, I had no idea.
back in the day,
Um,
man, they were ahead of their time. Diddy Kong
wow.
Racing was pretty sweet.
That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
I never played it. I was never a big racing game fan in the first place. So
Mm.
like, it's rare. The only reason I actually got Mario Kart is because it's like the main thing on the system right now, and it's packed in with the one I
Just
got.
waiting
So.
for that Zelda, baby. Just waiting.
Well, I did play the news. I did play like the upgraded Breath of the Wild a little bit, and it does look significantly better. It runs significantly better. But
I never
you know,
had any
it's
problem with it running though.
well, it's not really like that. It like breaks down or anything like that. But the frame rate is much better. It's much more fluid looking. It looks more
Mm.
cohesive, I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh yeah.
And then the last thing I'll mention, because I'm taking up too much time already, is I got to go to Warped Tour DC this weekend.
Whoa, Randy.
Which featured a ton of bands that I didn't give that much of a shit about way back in the day, and I don't give that much of a shit about now, but I had a good time watching a lot of them. And then there were some bands that I love there, including Streetlight Manifesto being chief among them. Mostly ska bands. Aquabats, got to see Aquabats, got to see Suicide Machines. Saw a little bit of Motion City Soundtrack. That was kind of fun. But yeah, it's nice because it's like a few blocks from my house. It's a very fun festival to go to because it was extremely easy to get to, and we won free tickets. So it was pretty
Nice.
low impact on everything.
Whoa.
That was
Yeah,
sick.
but I'll tell you, those festival grounds, they smell like dookie. They smell like poo-poo.
Blame Green Day.
I blame Green Day for everything.
Good. Shoes, what you been watching?
You know, I haven't been watching a whole lot of new stuff. I'm still going through Peaky Blinders. I made it past the point I originally made it to, so I think I just watched up to season 2 last time. I'm in season 3 now, and I gotta say, I think that show might be a little overrated. It's okay, like performances are good, it looks good, but the writing's kind of cheesy sometimes. It's overly like masculine kind of stuff. Like the main guy always
Masculine. Ew.
well, just in the most basic ways. Like, like I really liked Vikings. I thought that show was written really well. And that's a very kind of like masculine show. But this one is just like whenever the main guy gets into some trouble, he always just kind of gets out of it. But it's always in like some really basic ways, and he always gets what he wants, and it's a little simple for me. But it's good enough. Performances are good. And yeah, setting is cool. They just throw in like modern music all the time though. They play Arctic Monkeys all the fucking time and like Queens of
Really?
the Stone Age and so yeah, they'll just like throw it in there.
I had
It's
no
like
idea they had
Nice.
modern music in that.
yeah. It's weird. Most of the time it doesn't bother me, but sometimes it does. And other than that, oh, I got to go to I finally got to go to the Pride Parade this weekend in Seoul. Every year I want to go, and I always find out about it like the Monday afterwards. Like people posting shit about it. So this time, and I almost missed it again. I was like, oh, what are we gonna do today? And then I was like, oh, it's Pride Day. So we went out and it was fun. It was a really good time, and it was a good march along, like it was a solid path through the middle of Seoul and downtown, and it was hot as shit, but it was a really fun time, and I'm glad I got to go this year. And the only other thing I'll give a quick shouts outs to my boy. So one of my buddies here, he's a filmmaker, short films, and he just released a horror short. It's called Dead Inside, and he said it's inspired by Dead Space, but it's very much got some Saw vibes to me, but it was cool. His name is, God, I just realized I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but it's Tony Bosch, Bosch. Tony, you can look up his YouTube.
Bosch is how that's typically pronounced.
Yeah, I would assume so. I just realized, like, I was like, oh shit, I've never heard him
Bosca.
say his last name. He's a Frenchman, but he's a good guy, so it's okay. We let that slide. But I will say though too, if you're
It's rich for any American to hold somebody's.
Oh, we'll let
ethnicity
it
against them.
slide.
Nah, he's a great guy, and he does some good work, and he actually released one about 9 months ago. I think I shut it out when it came out, but it's also called Next to You. So if you're on his YouTube checking out his stuff, I suggest that one as well. But yeah, other than that, haven't really been watching anything else. Bob, what you been watching?
Just a couple things, really. We had a Marvel double feature last night, and we threw on the first Iron Man movie and the first Captain America movie, which I hadn't seen in years, and they both held up quite well. Those are solid
those
joints.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I don't know if they warrant 800 follow-up films, but they're pretty good.
No, they don't. It just like watching those movies reminded me like, there's still humor in them, but they don't have like the constant quips. And they really focus on like the drama more than anything. And it's just like, oh yeah, these were just like good movies back in the day.
Yeah.
And they just kind of like, I don't know. I think they got in their head about like the formula. It has to be a certain way. And
I really think
Once
that like
old
maybe Captain
Joss
America
got
is
on
the
there.
strongest of
Yeah.
the franchises in there, having not seen the new one, which I know people say is boo-boo, but
I agree. The first three Captain America movies are just bangers. And then the newest
Yeah.
one's not great.
Well, by the time they got to his third movie, they just made it like a big team up movie. So I
was just
feel like that's
Avengers
a
and-
little,
yeah.
it's an Avengers.
Kind of a
movie.
little bit of a
It's a
cheat
little
code,
cheap,
yeah.
Kind of
a
a
little
cheat.
bit. But the
but the
first,
second one,
I was never
in
like
particular-
super crazy about the first one. It's pretty good, but
I
so-
like
I
the
like
first
it.
one because I like a period piece in this
Yeah.
mix, especially back when that was not happening really. With
Yeah.
I just
superhero
remember
or
when
with
he's
major-
like supposed to be really skinny, and then it's kind of janky, a little janky.
It does look a little janky, but
A
it's
little.
it makes it more fun. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Women in that movie are just trying to get that dick though, and it's
Wow.
hilarious. It's like they are on his ass. On America's ass.
That's
Oh,
what we
yeah.
That's what we say. That is in the popular nomenclature.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
America's
God.
ass.
Oh, God.
The only
Mhm.
other thing I've really been watching for some reason is the Dexter prequel show
Oh,
called Dexter Original Sin.
yeah.
And
Why?
just morbid curiosity.
Is it the same actor? What's his name?
Michael C. Hall?
Michael C.
No.
Michael C.
No.
Hall? Okay,
No.
No,
because
he's
So-
back for
I
the
saw him.
continuation series.
I saw
Yes,
a post
he
the other
is.
day that was cracking me up. That was like, remember in the Dexter series where they just slapped a wig onto Michael C.
Uh-huh.
Hall and he was a teenager? And that shit, I
wanna see
remember that
him-
was so fucking stupid. Dude. Like,
I want
so
him and
shitty.
like Jigsaw with a
So
backwards ball cap to
shitty.
hang out.
Hell yeah.
Looks so shitty, that wig.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyways,
They
sorry, Bob.
didn't do that, but it's like the exact same show. They just recasted it because it takes place in 91 and he's like fresh out of college and he gets
Oh.
an internship at the Miami PD, but like the internship is really just him doing the job. They just like send him to like active crime scenes to like take pictures and like blood samples and shit. And it's like they would never let an intern do that shit.
Just riding that 90s nostalgia wave. How much grunge have they been playing
That's
so
not-
far?
Not a
okay.
lot.
I was
They-
like, that
they're-
show's not
that's
from the
good.
90s. What are you talking about? I got you.
Well, he said it's set in
Yeah.
91.
It's
yeah.
set in the 90s. I
91.
got you.
Yeah, they've got like, the acid wash jeans and like some of the colors and stuff, but they're not like hammering the 90s vibe as hard as they
All
could, really.
All right.
But it feels like you're watching Dexter like from some other universe because it's the exact same show. It's just they recast it. It's all the same fucking characters.
I told y'all
Same show,
last
but with-
week. It's the Mandela effect. You know, we are watching the same show. In an
Yeah.
alternate
It's just the same show with a White Snake soundtrack, isn't it?
I wish that it needs more
A
White
little bit of
Snake.
Dokken in there, maybe.
Whoa.
I would like to rock with Dokken. It's like not horrible, but it just it just is what it is. It shouldn't have been made. It doesn't need to exist in any way whatsoever. And if they've already greenlit a second season, and the Dexter like proper show continuation comes out, I think this fall. So they're double dipping. Michael C. Hall does do like he like narrates the prequel show, so like you still have his
Oh,
voice and kind of in the background and stuff. Yeah,
That's probably the best role. Like, I don't know. I love him as an actor, and I'm a little disappointed that he agreed to do all that shit.
yeah. I'm sure he's just getting cheesed.
Make that
up.
money.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely, like, I don't blame him for wanting to make a little scratch or whatever, but it's like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
would like
the
to see
show
him do
used
other
to be
things that he
so
just, for
strong.
whatever reason, isn't.
Well,
And then it
yeah, I
just-
mean, what, 4 seasons and then
Yeah,
maybe 2
it's-
more were okay.
To be fair, like this is probably better than at least 2 or 3 of the seasons from the proper show, So it's like
Yeah.
it could definitely be worse, but it's
I genuinely like. Sorry, go ahead.
it just doesn't need to exist generally.
Sometimes I think about revisiting it though, and I'm like, I don't know if I think I'm just gonna
tried.
leave it as positive in my mind and just
That's what
let
you
it
gotta do,
sit.
man.
Yeah, I
That's
don't think I want to revisit.
For
what you
real,
gotta do.
it just doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
If you want your Michael C. Hall fix, my recommendation is 6 Feet Under. That show is fucking.
That's a
still
great
incredible.
show. Yeah, I might need to
But-
rewatch that shit. That's a good one.
That's worth a watch. That starts to repeat itself a little bit, just like Dexter, but at least it's repeating itself with like just a full roster of A+ fucking actors and some like good drama and shit. Anyway,
yeah.
anything else, Bob?
That's about it from me. We do have 2 voicemails to get to though, so let's jump on over to our hotline screams.
Hotline scream.
If you guys are listening, would like to call and leave a voicemail to be featured on next week's show, hit us up at 904-638-3231. First up, we're going to hear from our friend, the librarian. Let's hear what she's got to say.
Hey, Queens. First off, happy Pride. I got some rapid fire questions for you since the hotline streams have been a little dry lately. Call in. Anyway. 1, what should my horror trivia team name be for next month? Bob had massive success with, I think you came up with Sometimes Head is Better. I came up with Bring Her Back Shots last night. I just want to know if Randy or Soju will come up with some gold. Question 2. Are y'all excited for Megan 2.0? I feel like a freak on a leash here for not being excited about it, especially because they're just like hardcore pandering to the gay horror bitches with the she's slaying into theaters and like playing Britney and Chapel Road in the trailers. It just looks so doo-doo caca. Let's give the villain a hero arc tomfoolery. I'm not excited. I am possibly seeing it with Jackie though. Jackie's on the Slack. Anyway. And next question. What do y'all put on your wings? Are you dry rub bitches? Are you saucy bitches? Let me know. I'm just curious. It might be straight chilling fanfic related. Bye!
That last line is concerning.
I thought at first she was like, what do you put on your wangs? And I was like, well,
Oh,
that's a little
Jimmy
personal.
had, of course. I don't know, like fucking trivia team names. Like,
Yeah.
Bring Her
Sexy
Back shots
pun.
is pretty tough to beat.
Bring Her Back
Um,
Shots is great.
That's pretty fucking great. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
I am
I'm gonna need
not
like
a
10
pun
minutes.
guy. I'm terrible at that kind of shit. So I don't know.
There's that movie that's just called Here Comes Daddy. Like you could just change the spelling on comes and there you go. That's an easy one.
God,
Good.
Bob.
Yeah. Rob, you are so disgusting.
You
Not even a pun,
disgust
really.
me, Bob.
You dirty bitch!
I'm just trying to help. Just trying to help our friend out.
Uh-huh. Only
So
friend you're helping out is as a jumper, Bob, okay?
God
Good
damn.
Lord. The I can't remember if I mentioned it last week or not, but I recently rewatched Megan, and it was like a little boring, and it definitely like they don't know that like they're making a movie that the LGBTQ community is gonna
Sure.
love, and
Right.
you can like tell. But yeah, that trailer, like when I saw the trailer for Megan 2.0, everything that Ripley just said basically, I like thought, but I was like, I don't know, maybe the queer community is going to be into this. I don't know, but it felt pandering, but I guess I don't know. Yeah, it just seems like they accidentally struck gold and now they're just like really going hard.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not
Yeah.
excited in the least. I didn't love the first one to begin with myself,
I did
but
not
at
like
least
the
it felt
first one.
like that outcropping of love for it was somewhat authentic. Came from like the dance becoming a thing or whatever.
Sure.
But you can't recapture that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the harder you try to do it, the more cringy it becomes. So it's
It-
like I can't imagine that there's a lot of people that have seen that trailer that are super psyched unless they're like pretty young or if they're like super diehard about it to begin with.
Like the accidental camp versus the intentional camp, and it just
Totally.
really feels
Ugh.
super forced in
Oh.
that trailer anyways, super forced. And
I'm
yeah,
gonna
she's
re-
like the hero now. The Megan
I
character's
hate
like
that
a
too.
hero.
Like
Yeah.
also, okay, not anybody who hasn't seen the trailer, yeah, like tune out for a second. But yes, that, but also the fucking same characters bring her back. It's not even like
Yeah.
like an old rival finds the plans and like revitalize. No, it's the same. Like this time you'll be good though. Like no, what the fuck? This thing tried to choke you out and like almost popped your eyes out of your fucking skull. What are you talking about? Who would do that? They almost
Yeah.
killed your fucking niece.
That's
I think I
yeah.
did the mini cast on that one, and I was not positive on it.
No.
Mm.
I will say that one great trivia team name, which has probably been taken many times, is the Bear Winch Project. Go for that.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
for
that's
that.
a classic.
Dude. Edward Penis Hands. Yeah, you could just go straight to like
Just go to the porn section.
yeah, exactly.
We already
Yeah.
did back shots, so clearly that Rubicon's been passed. All right.
Yeah, Invasion of the Booty Snatchers is, of course,
Booty
my
snatchers.
How about the Nunya Business?
Yes.
There you go. I knew somebody would agree.
Yeah.
Um,
Look at you guys coming up with gold. Just
and then
just nothing.
wings for the purposes of slash fiction. It sounds like I'm concerned, but
Oh,
I don't know if I have a strong preference of wings. I like a lot of different kinds. I like a lot of variety. But
Me
if I
too.
had to pick, I think I'd go with like I don't know. What are the wings at V Pizza, Bob? What do they call those? Those
I don't. They're a dry rub. I don't know exactly what they put on
They
them,
are a dry rub.
but they put
it's
like a
chilies
giant.
and ooh.
Yeah, it's like spicy, and they put a giant pile of like caramelized
Garlic?
onions on top
Caramelized onions.
too.
That
Yeah,
shit's great.
Which
That
are-
or smoked wings, like barbecue smoker wings or whatever.
Mhm.
Those are probably the top tier for me. Those are the best I've ever had. Those kinds.
I
But
agree.
I also love a good love a good buffalo wing, just standard buffalo wing.
saucy wing.
Yeah, those
I
Mojos
like a Publix
smoked dry
fucking-
rub wings are good.
Oh,
Those
they're
are
so
some of my
good.
fave. Yeah, I kind of prefer a dry rub too. Or if I'm gonna get some saucy ones, I like usually like a little kind of sweetness in there. You know, your teriyakis, your honey
Mm. I go saltier.
barbecue, maybe.
I like a lemon pepper here and there, and you know.
Asian zing. You know me, boys. Like a little Asian.
yeah, I
zing.
know. Do you
Just a
like
very consistent
Asian
man.
zing? We weren't asking about your wedding night, okay?
What you put on your wing and your wing.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Man. Yeah.
I skew to the spicy side of things. So I love like
The
a Jamaican
Bomb Beyond
jerk.
Insanity.
No.
Whoa,
Not
Bob.
that insane. But like a Jamaican jerk, like dry rub on a wing, that is very much my jam. Or if you're going sauced, just like a classic buffalo hot wing, that's my
Yeah.
shit. Spicy.
Honestly,
Give me the spicy.
sometimes when you say I want wings, like buffalo is the first thing that comes to mind for a reason, and not just because
Yeah.
it's the most available, but because it's the most reliable. Usually, even a
Yeah.
bad buffalo wing is still okay, at least. You can have
Yeah.
some bad other
Sure.
flavors though.
Totally. Yeah, I don't like the sweet stuff generally. Not on the
I
wing
guess I'm a
anyway.
little bit less of the sweet stuff too. A teriyaki I can get down with, and it's like a Thai sweet chili I can get down with that maybe, but
Whoa, Randy.
not a ton of those.
Oh, now you're stepping on Juice's wang.
You're in my territory now, Randy.
I didn't mean to step on your wang.
Hey guys, stop stepping. Don't tread
We're
on
just
my
we're just
wang.
playing. We're just writing the slash fiction for the library at this point.
Oh yeah.
Don't make me step on your wang.
Oh, man.
It's got some
Oh,
teriyaki
beg
sauce
me
on
not
it.
to.
It's extra sticky. Man, we got so distracted, or at least I did, by the librarian's great questions that I forgot we got another voicemail we got to get to real quick.
Bob. Come on.
Let's do it.
Next up, we're hearing from Hydraberg. What's he got to say?
Whoa.
That message still gets me. It's funny. What's up, gang? Just calling in. It's been a while. I didn't get a chance to call in. Just thank you guys for coming on for a Cut Above's 200th episode. It really meant a lot to get all three of you guys on for us. You know how much we love you guys, and we love the community. So, and having Nicole on and everything, it was just so fun. But I also called. I wanted to thank Mike from 35 or 37 minutes south of Albany, I believe, upstate New York. Mike, you called in a while ago and shouted me out. I appreciate that, man. I'm a little bit behind on episodes, and I just heard that shout out, and I really appreciate it. I don't know what I did to be such a cool guy, but I do appreciate that uplifting compliment. I'm hoping you listen to a Cut Above, maybe, and you dig my poetry and my dick jokes. But, yeah, if I'm ever there or you're ever in New York City or Long Island, fucking sure, let's get together. As long as you're not a serial killer, yeah, I'm good, man. We can get a beer or coffee or whatever, bro. See a movie. So, shout out to the community of Straight Chillin'. It's a great place to make friends. Love you guys. Keep chilling, all right? Be creepy.
It's
My
weird. I don't know what everyone's talking about. I haven't made any friends through this community yet.
Yeah. I've only made sacks of money.
Money is my friend.
I only just get a ton of
Friend I
dudes.
need.
That's it. That's all I get. Out of
Straight,
this.
this is now the classified ads section
Just
of the
people-
show.
Yeah.
I
People
saw
just be
you at
sending
Well,
the
you know,
Holy
we'll
shit.
get a coffee, we'll get a beer, bro. You know, no problem. You know, we'll just hang out.
Just hit me
Yeah.
up. Just hit me up. I am not 100% sure if the mic that called in and just said, like, you know, what's up to Hydraberg is the same mic that chose this movie or not. There's more than one mic that
Possible.
listens to the show for sure. So it might be the
Oh
same
yeah.
one. I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
That's who I thought at first. I was like, "There's no like,
Yeah,
no
that'd
way."
be well. Yeah,
But
maybe.
Might be. Yeah, not sure.
Hmm.
Call in
You
and
gotta
let us
have a
know.
sweet like code name like Hydraberg, and then we'll remember you.
True.
Sure. Yeah. Or not. You can just say, like, yeah, I'm that Mike. And then that's it.
That
No.
Mike
Yeah.
is a great nickname.
That night.
That Mike.
Remember when people used to have times attached to their name? 2 p.m. Todd and such.
Oh, yeah.
1 a.m. Wes.
1 a.m. West. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Made it real
What-
easy to remember everyone back
What
then.
time are you, Mike?
Give us your
5:45. Mike?
time.
1300 hours, Mike.
Midnight Mike.
Ooh, that sounds
Oh, that's
naughty.
alliterative.
Mhm.
Oh,
I can't come up with
shit.
trivia
Ah.
names, but I can
You
give a
can't
good
come.
nickname.
Damn. Damn. That's a saucy wang there.
Get off! Don't tread on my wang, Randy.
No, don't tread on my wang.
I'm never gonna come at this rate.
Unless you're into that and you got stilettos on or whatever.
True, yeah. You know I do.
You know I do have stilettos on.
Come on, Rob. We've known each other how long?
Let me see them feet, Randy. What them shoes do.
See, you don't need to write a thing, librarian. It's all right here. We bring it to the table every week.
It'll be all in the supercut. Just wait for the supercut to come
Just,
out.
just wait another year and a half
So right.
It'll be here before you know it, boys.
before you know it. Thanks for calling in, Hydraberg, and yeah, thanks for inviting us on for your episode 200 over on A Cut Above.
Yeah,
and
man. Thanks a bunch.
congratulations again. Killing it.
Yeah.
Killing
Yeah.
it.
Hydraberg, it's worth noting. Hydraberg is OG hard with us. Thanks, my
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Been
He's
around a
always
long
been
time.
been
Mhm.
hard with us.
Always.
You've
Always and
always been
forever.
hard with us.
Yeah, again, if you guys want to call and leave a voicemail for next week, hit us up at 904-638-3231. Do you guys have any prompts for next week? More wing content?
More
Yeah, tell us about your
wang
wings.
You like
Tell
your
us about your
wings
wing
saucy or
preferences.
dry?
Mm.
Let
Also,
us
I
know.
don't know, based on next week, I think we've brought this up, but it's probably been a long time. But if you had to continue on a franchise or bring a franchise back from the dead, if you want to go back and revisit them or something like that, what do you think is a franchise that's being underrepresented these days? What do you think has one that's justified to be revived or continued on in some way? Let us
Don't
know.
say Dexter. It's not Dexter.
It's
I
not.
think
They've
it's probably
tried. They've
Dexter.
tried so many times. They just
Yeah,
They're
it's a good
still
question.
just
trying.
keep trying.
What's right for a remake or a sequel?
I think
Long
I Know What You
overdue
Did Last
sequel?
Summer is really just overdue. I think,
Dude.
Yeah.
I tried to watch I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. It's horrible.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Don't
Is
do
it?
it.
No
Don't do
way.
it. The third one,
I
yeah,
am-
holy shit.
I am
The third one, I
so
didn't know. I thought there was
shocked.
two.
Yeah, there's a
That one
third
came
one.
out like 10 years after the fact, though.
Oh,
didn't it?
Yeah. There's a huge gap.
I don't know if I've seen the second one, or if I have, it's been a long time.
It's fun. It's Jeff Combs. I mean, the original cast comes back, but it's got like a smaller role with Jeff Combs and Jack Black as well.
Okay.
It's in the Bahamas, and it's fun.
Whoa.
Hey-o.
We need to start
Hey-o.
making films so we can just go on sweet vacations with our buddies.
Do the Adam Sandler, where you just go to
Yeah.
Hawaii for a month every year.
Yeah, let's do it. We're
You guys
now
know
in
any
the
Saudi
filmmaking
princes we can
business.
coerce
I'm
into
gonna hit up
giving
my
us money?
boy Tony, and we'll call Franklin over, and we got the connections now. We're gonna make this thing happen.
We got the connect.
Bosh.
Wasn't
My
that
boy-
Chud where Marv, his character's name is Bosch? What's that actual actor's name?
He would just said he called Bosch's name a lot.
He
and
was
that
yelling at
Kevin
Bosch.
McAllister's dad. He's like, "Come on, Bosch!"
Right,
Like,
yeah.
very Midwestern. It was awesome.
The Chud is a prequel to Home Alone. Watch it.
It is.
It is
Absolutely.
definitely. Yeah.
All right.
And
Cool.
then watch Bud
Cool.
the Chud.
But,
the Chud Part
yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Which
Treat
will
yourself.
absolutely answer all the questions you had
Yeah.
left over from Chud the First.
Actually, you know what? I've got work on the list. I haven't seen that one, so
Oh my God.
it
We
was
should
brought up on the
probably.
Slack. Yeah, we
just
probably need to cover
review it.
Orca. If somebody had
Yeah.
picked
Oh,
it for
Orca?
their
I was-
U pick instead of whatever
Dude.
we covered.
That fucking movie. It's
Yeah.
not better than Jaws. It's not. I
Well, we'll
won't hear of
see.
it.
We'll see. We gotta officially cover it
I've
on
never
this
seen it.
cast and see if it gets higher than a 5.
It's
Man, that is a winning record. around here.
yeah, that'd be a first time.
All right.
All right, call in 904-638-3231 with your franchises that need to be revived, resuscitated. Let us know.
Let us
We'll be
know.
back next week with a brand new show. As always, we're talking about 28 years later.
Oh
in
my God, I
theaters.
can't wait.
Oh my God, I can't wait. In theaters this weekend. I can't
Cool.
say now, but this weekend it'll be there. Slam it into your eyeballs. Get ready for next week's show. Until then, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
Groovy.